I am the sweetheart of dark, the uncontainable Mourna Handful, and I am on the road with Dr. Brian King.
I'm here, I'm there, I'm everywhere. Booze, women, and booze. I'm here, I'm there, I'm everywhere.
So Mourna, how'd you get into burlesque?
Well, a friend invited me to a burlesque meetup group. So I went and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed, what I saw, and I just kept going to shows even after the burlesque meetup group had stopped going. I still kept going, and so finally I was like, you know what? I want to do that too. I want to be up there and tell stories by taking off my clothes. Well, most of my acts are pretty narrative or character driven. I have a Little Miss Muffet that I do where it's sort of unclear who's seducing who in the story.
So
and,
like a spider? Or
yes. Actually, the spider is very large. It's like a little stage that I dance and roll around on. I have a zombie. I have a Mrs. Lovett from Sweeney Todd, sort of based on the movie. And I have an Ugly Duckling fan dance where I transform from this ugly brown outfit into an all-white outfit with 50-inch white ostrich feather fans. There's a narrative. I mean, the Ugly Duckling is really about transformation and freedom and and self-acceptance.
Because let me just say, if the story was just I'm taking off my clothes, that's a great story.
Well,
That's a really good story to tell.
Well, there are like a lot of burlesque performances that are really just about, they're not just about taking off your clothes, but they are about seduction.
Right.
But there are plenty of burlesque acts that are a lot of sort of the what we think of as classic burlesque, with the beautiful beaded gowns and the long gloves and things like that are, those are really more about seduction and tease and just, pure sex appeal and stuff, as opposed to being a specific character or trying to tell a specific story.
What was that in? Are you're trained in costuming?
No, I'm horrible.
Really?
I can't sew. I failed home ec. I failed the sewing portion of home ec back in middle school. I can't sew. I make mistakes constantly and have to start over. I'm always making things backwards or, just the wrong way. So it takes a lot of patience, which I also don't really have a lot of. Rhinestoning things, takes forever, but you can, sit in front of a movie or something and do it, and eventually you start getting into a zone. Yeah, I actually created a pattern.
Yeah, and so not being the pro, not being the person that did well in home ec, you kind of, I don't know, it looks to me like you did okay.
Yeah, I think so.
So give me an example of what you're telling a story, right?
Yes. I'm telling you, I'm about to take off my bra.
This is the best story ever, by the way.
Well, here's the climax.
Let me see. Oh my god. Wow. I love burlesque. I really do. So let's talk about some of the other shows. Like, what other stories have you told by taking off your clothes?
Well, I think I have a cow act, and it's about a nerdy little cow who is looking for love. She tries to get the attention of the boy cow, and he ignores her, and so she goes off and looks for inspiration from Playbull magazine.
Playbull?
Playbull.
All right. I hear that's a big seller among the farmers of the nation.
And then, she taps into her sexy bovineness, and this is all done to the Milkshake song.
The one, Milkshake brings the boys to the yard?
Yep.
Nice.
So it starts out with the music, with Peer Gynt, actually, like springtime, sunrise on a meadow. This is what the music is supposed to be invoking. And then, when she's ready to, really get this boy cow's attention, that's when the milkshake song kicks in.
And the milkshake, does it bring the boys to the yard?
Yes, it does. In the end, she does win over the affections of the boy cow. So
I feel like it makes a lot more sense your way than it makes sense as a cow song.
Yeah, it does. It does. And the character is, important to me in that, even though I'm just taking it, like I start out in a full cow suit, but each layer that I strip off, I'm still a cow. I'm not a cow transforming into a human or anything like that. I maintain my cowness.
How do you do it? How do you start doing burlesque? Like how do you decide that you want to do it and then actually find a venue to do it?
Well, I actually took classes with Trixie Little, and she is credited with the resurgence of burlesque up in Baltimore. And she was doing classes down here in DC, so I just sort of jumped in and did it. And it wasn't, this was a 4-week long class. This wasn't some weeks or months of training. I didn't learn choreography. I didn't learn, really. I mean, it was definitely just being thrown into the deep end. It was 4 weeks to create your first act, and you're going to perform it on stage.
What was that like, the first performance?
It was nerve-wracking. I mean, it was pretty terrifying, really. I did a Marie Antoinette act, and I still do it. 5 years later, I'm still doing it, and it was pretty nerve-wracking, but it was also really fun and exhilarating, and I was lucky that I also got to share the stage with the other students who happened to already be established performers, like Maria Bella and Paco Fish and Short Stacks. They were taking the class to sort of brush up on their skills and get better at their craft. So I actually got to meet right off the bat a lot of really great performers who've been doing it for a while.
And now you call yourself Mourna Handful, right? Now, what's the name come from? Just out of curiosity.
Well, when trying to find a name, I knew that I wanted something that was like a clever play on words. I didn't really want a pretty name, or I wanted something that was kind of funny and witty. So because Anita Cookie, was this name that I kept coming back to. She was a performer. She was up in New York. I don't think she's up there anymore. But I just thought that was the greatest name ever. So I was trying to find something that was sort of a play on words, but that also represented, me. So I just started, putting words together, and somehow came up with Mourna Handful. Which I thought, fit me pretty well. It's a little.
I think it's definitely fits your physical description.
Yeah, well, sure. not just my physical, assets, but I think it also, speaks to my personality as well.
So you're a lot to handle.
Yes.
Are you married, or are you in a relationship?
No, I'm single.
No, okay. So you're too much to handle.
Yes, definitely.
way more than a handful.
Exactly.
That's right.
You gotta be a whole lot of man to handle. So.
Are there any stories that you haven't yet told that you really want to?
I have a whole list of act ideas that I want to do, and it's just a matter of finding the time and finding the right motivation. Which one am I going to do first? So. Yes, I definitely have plenty of stories I still want to tell, and I'm sure I will keep adding to that list.
Yeah. What's the future hold for you?
Just more burlesque and more, hopefully expanding my skills. I've sort of fallen off my foot juggling that I was learning, but I want to take that back up, as well as, really, create a sideshow act and, start building on that. So... just more adventure, more learning.
Well, now that you've been on the road show with Dr. Brian, doors are going to open. Let me tell you.
I'm going to be waiting by my phone. Waiting.